Right, welcome back. Last time, we finally went ahead and embraced commercialization, so yeah, any penalties for that are gone, thankfully. So yeah, went ahead and teched up as much as possible with Diplotech, as well as also completing culture ideas, so that's nice. Costs that half cost for advisors. Yeah, which will basically remain until I start expanding. It's certainly going to help my finances. They're my biggest and most consistent expense, so all this, I should be able to start investing into manpower. I would prefer to move to, well, conscription first, before really doing any of that, so that I have an actual good idea of what my manpower looks like. Of course, in the process, I'm also going through multiple reforms. Specifically, I went ahead and reformed bureaucratic hierarchy and sovereign courts and justice in order to reduce corruption, autonomy, improve stability, etc. However, an event occurred in which basically dropped my bureaucratic influence to 0, so that's going to be something that's, yeah. Any further reforms are going to have to wait till 1455. Because until then, it's not going to have any effect. Yay. Apparently, however, the AI calculates the value of Miltech. It always needs to be 5 years before when they go ahead and grab it. Alright then. Okay, I'm not gonna take it though. Ooh, I don't see the point. Oh, it's done. Okay. How much labor is demanded by the... Right, the best way to look for labor demand. 0.32. Okay, so about 2. How much labor is available in total? 1.8. Okay, so that's accurate. Okay, so assuming migration remains consistent, I can basically ignore it. And we'll go up to over 10k soonish. Then I can get rank 2 amenity. Well, then I can grab the higher learning industry, get the rank 2 amenities, and all that. Alright then. Oh, wait. Right. It's that time of the year again. Let's be a bureaucratic faction. Yes, 33. Excellent. I will wait on major reforms until 1460, though. Because, it increases power costs. Yeah. Right. Okay, so... I also need to keep an eye on power costs. Specifically, the biggest issue might actually be, Diplo points. Of course, I'm going to burn more admin points in the process, I'm well aware of that, but... Yeah. Plus, there's a potential issue of not having enough points for tech. Well, I don't need Diplotech, it's admin tech I'm worried about. Let's see, the cost is going to... so I'm going to need 460 points. Okay, same amount as usual, I earn about 100 points a year. So, so long as I don't burn everything. Oh, and I also want to have 150. So, what I really want would be 600 points in total, approximately. So I don't want to go far below 100, so I should avoid anything that costs like 150 admin more than 150 admin points. I think the best idea might actually be reasonable tenure duration. Yeah. Reduces provincial corruption and state corruption. Well, elite power from autonomy would be nice. Honestly, I don't need that yet. I'm going to need it eventually if I want to lower the power of the nobles, that's for sure. But not yet. There's also the potential factional appointment, but I don't need the stability at the moment. Literacy test is not something I'm going to do anytime soon. Banning the sale of offices would be nice, but it costs too many admin points for me to consider it. So it's either this or this. Enforce reasonable tenure duration. It's going to cost me stability, but I can handle that. I'm pretty sure I can handle it. At least influential bureaucrats now also reduce the stability, which is nice. Nice and useful. State commerce, prosecution, burger stuff, amateur stuff, taxes. To take advantage of the fact that I have absurd quantities of provincial corruption now. Thankfully, this should drop rapidly. Should. Though whether or not it will actually do so is another story. But yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, this should be a good point to stop. Well, not exactly at this point. Gotta restart the grain dole after all. Right, well, okay, let me just check costs. So this should be 10% low, which is 40 points, so 452 points. I also want to have another 150 so that I have enough. Yeah, I should be fine. Doing the highest grain provision. Plus, lets me get back to 3 stab again. Anyway. Not that much has happened, or at least not that much in particular. I was correct in that, yeah. Doing the influential bureaucrats again allowed me to get enough influence to do more reforms. Though I also have to be careful about points, because I want to do technology, specifically admin and military. I don't care that much about Diplo. The reason why I haven't grabbed tech yet is that I'm saving the points for any potential reforms. But I did do some reforms. Specifically, terms of office 1. Was there anything else I did? I don't think I actually did anything else because of, well, yeah. Though I have started expanding state reach again, so that's having an effect on provincial corruption. Though that's going down quickly, so my income's recovering. So I plan on some stuff. Specifically, my current plan is to set up when 1460 rolls around, after doing all the technology and whatnot, go ahead and go to hybrid military, as well as tax officials for indirect taxation. So, yeah, this will probably hurt my stability as well as my standing with the nobles and my provincial corruption by a lot. But it should help with various things, specifically so that I can move towards conscription. Well, enlistment. Rather than volunteers, so that I can move away from serfdom without causing severe damage to my military. Once that rolls around, I can start working on getting an actual army set up. My population growth has stalled a bit, though this is partially due to the fact that there was a plague that killed almost 3,000 people, about 2.6 thousand people. Yeah, which is about 5 years worth. Well, it's over 6 years worth of peasants. About 600,000 of them were residents, so it's about 600 of them, not 600,000, but 600 of them were residents. So that's about 3-4 years of residents and 5 years of peasants. So it's going to take some time for my population to fully recover from that. Though there's definitely enough peasants to fulfill the industries, so that's at least good. Though high wages are seriously a problem there. beyond that, there's really not much to say. Recent reforms have lowered the loyalty of multiple factions, so I need to be careful there. But beyond that, there's really nothing to say. I still get the feeling I did something else. I don't know. I was hemming and hawing between... Alright, I remember. I was hemming and hawing between ad hoc hire and reversions. Well, going beyond ad hoc hire or unlimited tenures. But this saved provincial corruption more, at less power cost, and this one just reduced elite power from autonomy. Yeah, and I think the general plan was to do that next if it weren't for the fact that I have to save points for specifically upgrading my tax farming, my indirect taxation. Plus 30% times savage. Yeah, this will increase base indirect tax efficiency, enable substances excise, increase base welfare, and reduce the mana cost of all indirect taxes. And reducing mana cost would actually be good. Though it's tollage, sod excise, and timber excise. So it's admin tax. Okay, so wait, tollage, right? Tollage, salt excise. Okay, so where's tollage? There. So I'm only doing the salt excise. Later on there's going to be substances excise. In order to get a real view over all that, I should go to tax service. The last one is the alcohol excise. Okay. And then for direct taxation, we currently have land tax and poll tax. Then there's property and inheritance. And then there's also chattels tax. Property tax tends to specifically target property in general, rather than the land tax, which is for rural property. Where is it? Okay, so... Okay, here's the alcohol excise. But it's a diplotype. Here's inheritance, which targets the elite. And the chattels tax, which is a wealth tax, so basically just a tax on the wealth pool in general. Which disproportionately affects the elites in general. Well, because of basically wealth per capita. The peasants do have the most wealth, but the most wealth per capita is almost certainly the nobles. If I go back to here, the nobles have about half the wealth of the peasants. But there's only 50 nobles, in fact 49 nobles, and 37,000 peasants. So that wealth is way, way more differently distributed. It could also be a means for the noble wealth to start reducing. Well, another means. There's also increasing peasant freedom, which I don't have a point for until I free the peasantry, because I'll be at the minimum no matter what, at least within my own provinces. I can assume that the other provinces nearby are also going to have low peasant freedom. Though apparently I am pretty unique in having serfdom. It does appear that Denmark has simply dispassionate peasantry. There's no real way to check upon the progress of other countries though, other than estimations. Like I can estimate their... based upon peasant freedom. Yep, England has full-on serfdom. What about France? They have oppressed peasantry. Yeah, etc. Oh, and there's also the fact that the Golden Horde now has conquered most of Novgorod. Well, the eastern half. The western half, including the capital Veliki Novgorod, has been conquered by Poland. Yeah, however, there's also this stuff, which used to be owned by Poland, but now the Golden Horde has. So obviously, the Golden Horde is perfectly capable of taking out Poland, at least as long as Bohemia is invading, because there was also, about 6 years ago, a war between the two of them where Bohemia was handily winning, though they're now losing against Austria. So I'm not sure if Bohemia is actually going to stick around as the emperor. So it seems like they're going to start losing. Oh yes, the Ottoman Empire is starting to grow, though it's nowhere near as quick as they did historically. The Mamluks also happen to be in Yemen. Fun times for all. And Ethiopia is going into Sudan. Though that's not anything particularly fascinating in MT, as far as I can tell. At least it's pretty common to occur at 2.6, or 2.5. I shouldn't say 2.6 because I haven't actually played this. Yeah. Fun times in the HRE. Oh, and Savoy is conquering Switzerland. So that's fun. Right. I'm also planning on eventually expanding amenities to rank 2, but I'd rather wait until there's enough population to actually fulfill the industries. The industrial districts, because, well, urban industrial throughput is currently at 85%, so I need about 15% more well, at least 15%, closer to 20% more population, which is enough to bring them over 10k. Once I hit 10k, I'm going to open up a higher learning industry and also begin working on the amenities. It's only going to be about 6 to 8 units, so it's not going to be that expensive. Yeah. There's really not much I can do with the money at the moment, though. The rurals are really expensive with their labor at the moment. So, yeah. Farmlands and stuff, barely profitable. So yeah, the property no longer is making me much money. In fact, I'm losing 3 ducats a year from it now. Though this isn't, yeah. Money from property is extremely volatile, I will have to say that. So, yeah. Right, I've gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye. Next year certainly will be interesting, though. At the very least, I get to say how much Republican tradition I lose this time.